Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Guild Wars 1 Nightfall Let's Play. We are back in Kodash Bazaar after last episode having helped out the village of Ronjok. But now we are going to see the other side of the story. We're going to see Koss's decision. It's actually a little bit... I get why Meloni's decision is to protect Ronjok, but the Koss decision is not very Koss related. Like, he doesn't... It's kind of silly because obviously it wants to set up their relationship. That's kind of the purpose of having the two different missions and the dialogue within. Or dialogue after, excuse me, in the cutscenes. But it kind of feels like the decision should have been between, like, Talcora and Meloni. Because it's, like, Meloni's home place and then, like, a part of Talcora's homeland. Like, I feel like that would make more sense and be more, like, relevant. But it is kind of to set up the whole Koss-Meloni relationship is like the point of it. So, whatever. Let's see. Heart Ermine Garden in danger. Ruptures have indeed been retorted in the Garden of Saborhan. It has fallen to night, taken over by creatures of pure darkness known as Harbingers. They will enter the realm of torment if not destroyed, but can only be harmed by pure light, honor, and truth. The ancient caretakers and protectors, the henge wizards of Saborhan, were killed or ran in terror from the sacred duty to protect the most beautiful and powerful sites. Start this Nightfall of Garden of Saborhan for my old friend Henge Wizard Lohane. Gain his aid. You must protect the Temple of Lissa. You protected the Temple of Lissa, you must now protect the Saborhan. If not, all of Vabbi will fall. You must take the choice, defend Ronjok and Corner, help the Vabbians use the within the Nightfall and Garden of Saborhan. We bring light to these dark times. I can't. Ronjok is in trouble. Alright. Now, this is actually a really interesting sub-quest because, as I've kind of hinted at, like the Vabbi threat is very much real, but the Ronjok one is very much not necessarily like guaranteed. Like the Vabbi threat is very much real, very much a real thing that's going on. Oh, you can see Marganite groups actually start popping up in Vabbi. That's pretty cool. They're outside of the garden here. And you can see now there's these tendrils here. We didn't actually come by this explorable area earlier, but these tendrils have ripped off the gate and allow us in. This is the only time you're allowed into this explorable area, I believe, to my knowledge. I don't believe you can come back here. It is the Nightfallen Garden. It is a hellscape version of the Garden of Saborhan. Let's talk to the Whispers of Forma here. Greetings, Lightbringer. I have a message for you for the Seeker Whispers. He believes you are capable of standing up to Varesh and Ebon's demonic hordes. Seek him in the Chanter of Whispers. He'll help you prepare for the battles to come. Actually, I haven't shown this off yet. So let's actually go do this real quick. So once you get enough points to be a Lightbringer, see down here how we're rank 1 Lightbringer. You can come here to the Chantry of Secrets and speak to... Is it this guy? No. Isn't the Whispers Acolyte? Where is the guy? There should be a guy that gives you some... Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. A Lightbringer ranks, it should be this guy here, the Seeker of Wisdom. I can't believe I didn't see him. Cool Melandru statue. You're now a Lightbringer. When you display this title, Abaddon servants will fear you to display the title, blah, blah. So this gives us a title, basically, that gives us a buff that makes us deal more damage against Abaddon's minions. Oh, we have 55 minutes of the Favor of the Gods remaining, so I might as well show it off now. You can see there's the... What's the word I'm looking for? The Alolan forms of the gods take a lot more inspiration from the... or the Alolan statues of the gods, excuse me, take a lot more inspiration from the Prophecies statues of the gods, which kind of makes sense because Prophecies is literally right up here. Like, this is the Crystal Desert up here. Like, literally right up there is the Prophecies region, Tyria. So it makes sense that the depiction of the gods that they have in Lona is a lot closer to the Tyrian one than in the in Cantha. In Cantha, they had different kinds of statues. There are these terrible creatures hurting these lands. Creatures almost too terrible to describe. Nightmares. Shadowy monsters. The Order Whisperers may be the only group to realize the danger of these beasts. If you help me eradicate them, I will greatly share one of our secrets, the Mark of Light. Okie dokie. So yeah, we got some old friends returning. I don't know if you remember these, but Titans from Prophecies, the end of Prophecies. This is actually where Titans are actually from the realm of Torment. They're from Abaddon's realm. It actually mentioned that back in Prophecies, even though Abaddon isn't really like known about or explored, it does actually mention the realm of Torment a little bit, being behind the gate of Komale. So that's some little bit of lore for you. Henge Wizard Loha. Help Olyssa, help us all. You can see kind of the garden down there. We are the caretakers of the Garden of Saborhan. We ensure that Saborhan and all of its beauty flourishes. They are dead or fled. Dead or fled. He has gone mad. Koss, why don't you try to talk some sense into him? He's gone mad! This place is messed up.
All is lost. We are doomed, I tell you. Doomed.
We're here to help, old man.
This place is lost, I fear. We should worry about Ranjak.
There is no help.
Quiet, Molly.
There is no hope. The world is ending. Nightfall is at hand.
Is everything lost then?
No, but the corruption is spreading. Soon it will engulf everything.
Not if we can stop it.
Alright. Janudu's Horde. A rugged mining camp used by the workers of the Venja mines, Janudu's Horde is nonetheless a booming outpost on payday where miners flush with their spoils to go broke again just as quickly in games of chance and impromptu tavern step in the shadows of abandoned mining equipment. So it's like a mining camp. Have a little look around the outpost. We're actually going to do a little bit of exploring at some point. We're going to go into the Veju mines because there's actually an outpost out there. One of the few missable outposts in Nightfall. I believe the market and this outpost are the two only like truly missable ones. Actually, there's one out here, that encampment that's out there that we looked at. Not really a super interesting outpost, little overgrown, some mining equipment. Kind of cool stuff here. This gives me vibes from like the Sorrow's Furnace. Gives me Sorrow's Furnace vibes. But anyway, let's talk to this dude, and we're going to do this mission today as well, since it's a rather quick mission. You found Loja, that's good. Horkas Horian, the head of order, is preparing our final stand against the Harbingers. You and Koss will be our saviors. We can help keep the torment at bay, but I can do more than that. It's up to all you to ensure the Harbingers are destroyed only once will its waking nightmare abate. We Henge Wizards keep the garden beautiful. It's our sacred duty from birth to death. We serve the garden and preserve their blessings. This is bestowed upon Vabbi. Is said the seed from which the Saborn grew was a gift from Lyssa herself. Of course, the wealthy merchants and indeed the three princes pay more than they should for admittance. Beauty has its price, and even a Henge Wizard needs to eat. Managed to get some sense of Lojan, and we're ready to end this waking nightmare. Let's get in there. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the mission mechanic here as we look around this kind of gnarly place. So, the horticulturist will spawn these lights of Saborhan. These are like bundle items you have to carry with you. Oh, they're kind of explained here. Normal attacks are useless against the Harbingers, so we must rely on the power of the light of Saborhan. Defend the Saborhan spirits from those wretched demons. The spirits can gather the light of Saborhan into a form we can use to defeat the Harbingers. Yeah, so basically you bring this light with you and you drop it near a Harbinger and it'll kill it and it'll form a new light. So, and the first couple are really easy because they're literally just in a line. See, just kill that. And then this guy will make a new light. And very much like the Harbingers from the Ranjak mission, they're invulnerable otherwise. So here's another one. But this one has some Marganites. What's his face down at the back will actually also make more lights if you want to run all the way back and get them, but you don't need to, since you can just get more lights from these guys. Now, unlike Ronjuk, there's some points in this mission where there are infinitely spawning mobs that keep pushing back, and if they actually get all the way back to the horticulturalist and kill him, you lose. You're dead. I just realized he's a ranger, but he's a caster. He's like the first druid. Well, druids technically exist in the world, but I mean druid in the sense of like the Guild Wars 2 version, where it's like a ranger caster class. Which they just messed up in the previous update, by the way, and I was really enjoying playing for the past month. Sad. Well, they messed up the healer. They made a DPS that was much better, but I don't want to play druid DPS. Anyway, enough moaning about Guild Wars 2 balance issues. We have more important things to do. Yeah, this is kind of the main thing about this mission is you have two sides that the Marganites can attack from down to the horticulturist, and you basically just have to defend. It's nice that we went and got this Lightbringer title, though, because that means we'll be doing a little bit more damage and taking a little bit less damage from everything here. You need to be very careful, though, because you can very easily over-aggro in this mission. Especially because I'm not on my character that has defensive stuff to help the team out. You kind of just have to kill stuff quick enough and hope it works out. I think it'll be fine. Let's grab this light. They alternate which side they come from, so assuming you knew where the previous one came from, you can actually kind of adjust for where the next set of, I don't know why they don't finish these guys, where the next set of Marganites is coming from. So the previous side came from that side, so the next one's coming from this side. So not too bad once you know what you're doing, and this is definitely a much shorter mission than the other one, which is why I tend to always default for this one. A nice thing about this Lightbringer buff we got is that actually all of our party members will get it as well. It's pretty cool, but there are some PvE titles that give you bonuses, and if you use them, it'll actually give all the bonuses to your allies as well. Okay, here comes another Marganite group you see down the center, spawning out of the portal in the back, basically, that's there. So they should come this way. They do not appear to be coming this way. They appear to be going the other way. That is not good. So we're going to have to go over there and catch them. Maybe I accidentally cleared a group that was meant to come out of that side and just didn't notice. That bowmaster dead. And this mission can either be relatively quick or take forever, depending on how good your heroes are. Because if your heroes can just blow through these Marganites, it's not that big of an issue. You can basically just go hang out up like there, catch each group as they spawn, and be fine. But if you're barely struggling to kill them in time before the next one spawns, it can be a pretty big problem. But where the eventual goal of this mission is, there's a dude in the back that we're trying to get, trying to kill. It is a dude back here, this Harbinger of Nightfall, all the way in the back. Just gonna grab a Marganite, this Marganite group. That Marganite group seems a little big. I grabbed like half of them. Oh, that's bad. You know what? We're gonna do this the interesting way. So this mission basically ends whenever you kill the big harbinger in the back. So there's a relatively there's a much easier way to do the mission, which is you basically just keep grabbing a light and running it back to the dude. And that's kind of like the speedrun way to do it. You can actually do this mission extremely quick because of that. You just run like a running build or whatever, and you just literally sprint back to the dude. But I'm gonna let my team handle these Marganites. We seem to be fine. We seem to be able to get through them pretty easily. So I'm not super worried. Maybe go drop another one on this Harbinger of Nightfall. We just need one more now. It's nice that the spirits can take most of the aggro for us. And we have one more light, and we should just be able to literally run and drop it on him. There we go. And mission complete.
Koss,
So much of the garden has been corrupted.
more would have been lost had we not been here.
How is Meloni?
Kill it with fire!
The visions seem to have passed.
We had to come here. It was a real threat. You have to think things through to realize what's important.
I understand. And I think Meloni understands as well.
Meloni. She's just so frustrating.
Agreed. But sometimes you have to think things through to realize what's important. Or who's important.
I suppose you're right. You think we should talk, her and I?
Yes, and you will, when the time is right.
For my sake, I hope that time is soon.
Koss said, I can't deal with this. Meanwhile, we see Varish hanging out back in the desolation again.
Mistress, is something wrong?
The ruptures. They have stopped.
It matters not. When you free our lord, the torment will wash over the world, transforming it.
You are right. I can feel Abaddon's presence like a weight in my mind. It is nearly overwhelming.
Abaddon depends upon you. Would you hesitate now?
No. No. Abaddon's will be done.
It is, mistress. And your reward is coming when you weaken the last barriers. Hail, Abaddon!
Yes. Hail Abaddon.
Dun, dun, dun. We didn't see that. We totally didn't see that in the last episode. It's not the same cutscene. But yeah, very similar cutscene, very similar themes. Koss's and Meloni relationship issues, part 2. Quite interesting, actually. Now that I think about it, it's a little weird. So, the other 2 decisions we have to make in the game, well, let me rephrase that. The other 2 parts in the story where we have split missions, where there's like 2 missions we have the option to go on, it's kind of hinted at in this, or it's heavily implied in the story that both missions get done anyway. Like, we can't just not free Cormyr. Like, she has to be freed for the story, so someone goes and does it even if you don't do that mission, and someone has to find the way to Vabbi and kill the thing at the waterworks of Mankellen. So somebody does it if you decide to go do Gundara, and same thing with the ones up here. Somebody has to defend the bastion, somebody has to go get the other ones out of the hidden city. So somebody has to do it, but this is the only one where it's implied that both events do not actually take place, because the cutscenes are very much, you know, you make a decision, you go to one or the other. But there's very much the implication that the other one doesn't get solved if you do like depending on which one you do. So definitely, if you do the garden, the real threat, the one that's actually in the world, that kind of makes sense, and you know, deal with that stuff. And then Melani's vision stuff. But if you go deal with Melani's visions, I guess the garden's just corrupted till the end of time, or until we deal with Abaddon. Like, until we deal with Resh permanently. Like, I don't know. I wonder how, like, that's intended to work in this story. But anyway, I want to thank you all for coming out. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.